So for the remainder of like from mid-February to April-ish, our course has completely moved classes to online, and it took a bit of getting used to at first. Our lectures were pretty awkward and we were pretty awkward, and it was my first time having classes regularly online as the only form of communication, so that took a bit of getting used to too. But I think most of our lecturers tried their best to deliver the classes to us. One thing that was a struggle was that because digital media production is so hands-on and we are required to learn a lot of softwares and a lot of like skills to master those softwares for our assignments and our dissertations, I felt that it was hard having to do that online, because in class, as we go through the steps, we have our lecturers come and check on us and ask if there are anything we don't understand, but at home and online we don't get that support. So I feel like that was a struggle sometimes. I had a hard time following, and sometimes when I wanted to ask questions, I felt like I would like debate whether I should ask my question because the whole class would be waiting for me to redo that part. So there were a number of resources available online, and I think UCL made it pretty clear for us. The library was online, careers, everything you can have access to when you're a student physically studying there, they've tried to move it online. Personally, for our course, our lecturers introduced a new platform where students can more like casually and conveniently interact with them and get in contact with them instead of like sending emails, because sometimes they take quite a long time to reply. But I think one thing that was really important that I guess is really hard to move online were our access to the computer labs, because we have classes in there every day. To be able to use like the machines and the softwares on there was really important, I think, personally. But I think for a lot of the students, their computer could not support and run a lot of the softwares needed to do our work. And so I think losing access to the lab was a really big blow. But I think because I left the country early, but for those students who left a little later, I think they were made aware that they could borrow laptops from the faculty. But the thing about that is, like, if you do not plan to go back to the UK, you can't do that because you have to return the laptops. But I think resources available were, I wouldn't say a lot, but there were some available. I think this whole ordeal is really a struggle. I mean, like, not a struggle as in like a struggle as in I feel like we were left alone, like we were left on our own a lot. Specifically for this master's, we had to learn a lot of new skills. For those who had no background and nothing before, I felt that we had to relearn everything on our own sometimes, and most of the time I felt like everyone seemed to be like on a different page, and communication was slightly scarce between the lecturers and the students. But I think you just have to take note of how you're doing and what you're lacking, because for me, I have a 7-hour time difference with the UK, so I have to take note of that too. Support wise from lecturers, I think that you just have to be really, really assertive and take a lot of initiative when it comes to like your own work and asking for help, because I guess lecturers don't know about you or your struggles if you don't ask them directly. Because I guess for our course we don't have like a checkup sort of thing, so if you're struggling and you really need help, you just have to go and ask them. But I think if you ask them, they'll definitely be able to provide help, and that's the good thing, because I guess most of them are always there for you. You just have to speak up. Maybe like tutorials for people who all face the same problems, or like put out like, today I want to talk about how to do this, do that, and then people who are interested and who meets that in their assignment may join the meeting or the video call. I think that would be pretty helpful, because I know that there are certain people who are struggling with certain things, and some might not be comfortable to ask. But yeah.
I am grateful for the lecturers who give me immediate support when I ask them a question, and they're always there to help me solve my problems. I'm grateful for my family, being able to be in comfortable clothes, being in the comfort of my home in this pandemic while studying. I'm grateful that UCL is still supporting us. Yeah. Be grateful.